Okay, hi everyone, my name is Tina. So today we are going to do about an hour-long Ashtanga Yoga practice, which we will modify for pregnancy. So if you are a pregnant person and you already have an established Ashtanga practice, then this practice is for you. If you're an Ashtanga teacher and you want to know how to modify the series for pregnant people, then this is for you too. And you can also get your partners involved. So if you're pregnant and you want to practice with your partners, you can do that as well. This is not just for someone who has a belly, okay? So this is not for a beginner. So if you're a beginner to yoga, this is not the video for you. I'll make another video later. So yeah, make sure you have clearance from your doctor, your care provider as well, that you are okay to practice yoga and modify in any way you can. So just know that every pregnancy is different. Personally, this is my second pregnancy practicing Ashtanga Yoga. My first one was much different. So I feel much different now than I did last time I was pregnant practicing. And yeah, this is how I modify it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, so we'll just start at the top of the mat. We'll take the mantra quickly. So take an inhale for Om. Om. Vande Gurunam Charanara Vinde Sandara Shita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shanka Chakrasi Darinam Sahasara Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Om. Okay, come to Samastitihi. So you can start with your feet together or your feet apart. Okay, I like to do kind of a combination of both, kind of just depends how I'm feeling, because sometimes when I keep my feet together it feels better, but sometimes also when I keep them separated the belly still feels like it gets in the way, so it doesn't matter either way. But for this class we'll take the legs separated, okay? So inhale, reach the arms up, look up at your thumb. The way exhale, fold forward, take your hands down. Drop the head down. Inhale, lift halfway. Now, if it feels good here, go ahead and take your hands on your shins. Exhale, step back into a plank position and we'll lower for Chaturanga. So Chaturanga can be modified in so many ways when you're pregnant. So I'll just take the knees down for the first one and show you. Elbows can come down for Chaturanga. And then from here, we just flip over the toes and then flip up into a Cobra pose. Or maybe if you want, you can come up into upward facing dog. And then you can use the knees, move through the knees to come to downward facing dog. And then take 5 breaths here. So of course, if you still feel great doing full vinyasas, do them. If not, you can modify. So breathing with sound, in through the nose and out through the nose. Fingers spread wide. Look back at the belly button, but if the Nabi Drishti is too much here, just go ahead and look at your knees. Make sure your head and neck are relaxed, because we can't really be sucking in the belly anymore like we used to in this position. So you just relax the belly. You can engage the pelvic floor if that feels right for you. And then after 5 breaths, look forward, bend your knees, step forward, or if you want to jump, you can jump. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend and fold. Nawa, inhale, arms stretch up, reach up. Samastitihi, hands next to the side. Good, second one, Ekam, inhale, arms up. The way, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, lift the head. Chatwari, exhale, step back. Lower for Chaturanga. Panja, inhale, upward facing dog. Look at your nose, Drishti, same here. Shot, exhale, downward facing dog. So if the Ujjayi breath produces too much heat in your body, just make sure you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Steady breath is important. But in pregnancy, it's also important to keep the body cool and hydrated. So that's another thing too. If you need water at any point of this practice, please take water. So different when you're pregnant or if you're nursing. Water is key. Don't feel bad to drink the water. Okay, look forward, bend your knees. Step or jump to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Ashta, exhale, fold. Nawa, inhale, arms up. Samastitihi. Again, yekam, inhale, arms up. Dvay, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, lift halfway. Chatwari, exhale, step. Maybe you still feel good to jump. Go ahead. Punch, inhale, upward dog. Shot, exhale, downward facing dog. 1. So again, lots of options for the vinyasas. 2. Just making sure we're always listening to the body. 3. 4. 5. Sapta, inhale, jump forward, lift the head. Ashta, exhale, fold. Nawa, inhale, reach up. Samastitihi. 4th one, yekam, inhale, arms up. Dvay, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, half lift. Chatwari, exhale, go back to Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward dog. Shot, exhale, downward facing dog. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Stop the inhale. Jump forward, head lifts. Ashta, exhale, fold. Nawa, inhale, arms up. Samastitihi. Last one, yekam, inhale. Dvay, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale. Chatwari, exhale to Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward dog. Shot, exhale, downward dog. So that's another thing I forgot to mention. So right now I'm 21 weeks in my, so only halfway through. If you start to get in your 3rd trimester and the belly is getting involved in Chaturanga, just hold your plank and go back to downward dog. Or you can go to plank and go to upward dog, or even just go like to plank and do like a cat pose, cow pose, or something like this. But you do whatever feels right, you know? You don't have to do any Chaturangas to do Ashtanga Yoga. That's the beauty of Ashtanga that a lot of people don't realize. You can modify it to make it whatever you want. Okay, so step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Nawa, inhale, arms up. Samastitihi. Great. Okay, so Surya Namaskara B, second sun salutation. All right, so first we start in Utkatasana. I'm going to keep the legs apart. If you want, keep them together. Up to you. All right, ekam, inhale, bend your knees, arms up. The way, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, half lift. Chatwari, exhale, step, or jump to Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward dog. Shot, exhale, downward dog. Right foot forward, Sapta, inhale. You can step this wider than you normally would, okay? Come up for Virabhadrasana A. Ashtal, exhale, so your belly goes in between the thigh here, right? Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, Nawa, Dasha, exhale, downward dog. Ekadasha. So left foot comes forward, bend the knee, come up, warrior one. Dwadasha, exhale, come down for Chaturanga. Trikodasana, upward dog. Chaturanga, downward facing dog. So also apologies, the breath is obviously much shorter and it's harder to control when you're pregnant. So if I take breaks from counting, just count on your own and breathe, just so I can catch my own breath. Panchadasha, step forward or jump to the hands, lift the head up. Shodasha, exhale, fold. Saptadasha, Utkatasana, bend the knees, arms up. And stand up. Good. Just going to do 3 of these today. Okay, ekam, inhale, bend the knees, arms up, Dvaya, exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, head lifts. Chatwari, exhale, step. Or maybe jump to Chaturanga. Pancha, inhale, upward dog. Shot, exhale, downward dog. Sapta, inhale, right foot, come up. Virabhadrasana A, warrior 1. Ashtanga, exhale, down for Chaturanga. Nawa, inhale, upward dog. Dasha, exhale, downward dog. Ekadasha, left foot forward. Come up. Dwadasha, exhale, Chaturanga. Trikodasha, upward dog. Chaturanga, down. Adha Mukha Svanasana. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Panchadasha, jump or step to the hand, lift the head up. Shodasha, exhale, fold. Sapta, bend your knees, arms up. And stand up. Samastitihi. All right, last one. Ekam, inhale. Dvaya, exhale. Trini, inhale. Chatwari, exhale. Pancha, inhale. Exhale, come to downward facing dog. All right, right foot forward. Come up, warrior 1. Exhale to Chaturanga. Now inhale, upward dog. Dasha, exhale, down dog. Ekadasha, left foot comes forward, come up. Warrior 1. Dwadasha, exhale, Chaturanga. Trikodasha, upward dog. Chaturanga, downward dog. Good. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. Panchadasha, jump or step to the hands, lift the head up. Shodasha, exhale, fold. Saptadasha, bend your knees, arms up. Samastitihi. Good. Okay, so Padangustasana, feet step or jump apart. Reach down and grab your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Ekam, inhale, head lifts. So feel free to go wider in your legs here. Exhale, bend and fold. Now, either way, as wide as I go personally, don't really feel like these forward folds go anywhere, which is why both of my pregnancies I've felt like I've had the tightest of the hamstrings because these forward folds don't all feel great for me. Okay, inhale, lift the head up. Exhale, step on the hands. I think that's most of the reason why intermediate feels a lot better than primary. Exhale, fold. So you'll see today I'm going to skip a lot of the primary series. But there are ways to modify. Like, don't let that turn you away from going to a lead primary class, because it's still really nice to just go to class even when you're pregnant. There's a lot of things you can do to modify. Hopefully most teachers won't care if you're just doing your own thing. Yeah, so after Padahastasana, 5 breaths. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, hands on hips. Pancha, inhale, come up. Feet together, Samastitihi. All right, now I brought some blocks with me to just show you how you can modify with blocks, but it's really also not necessary. If you feel comfortable with it, go for it, but you don't need them. So Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right foot is going to step out, turn the feet, ekam inhale, dway, exhale. So lots of options here. If you still feel good grabbing your big toe, I still feel good grabbing the big toe and like using the obliques to lift up and look up. That's fine. You can also modify just placing your hand on your shin, or the block can come in handy here too to look up, okay? So holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Trini, inhale, come up. Chatwari, exhale, pivot your feet. And then see, this problem with the block is you have to just take it with you and then come down. So use your block to modify, or you can come all the way down and grab the big toe. Good. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pancha, inhale, come up. Okay, so general rule, which we all should know, is that you cut out twisting in your practice. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to cut right to Parsvakonasana, side angle pose, okay? If you're in a lead class though, there are ways for you to modify those twists, but for today, since this is a home practice, we're just going to come right to the side angle pose. All right, so you can bring the elbow to thigh, you can come all the way down. You can also use that block to modify here too. It's a nice option, okay? Press your knee out into the armpit or into the arm and look up at your hand. 5 breaths here, holding for 5, or you can come lower, maybe really low. 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is a really nice posture for pregnancy. Okay, inhale, come up. Exhale, pivot the feet. So same options here. You can do elbow on thigh. You can come into your regular side angle pose. Or you can come down into a block. All right, reach up and over. Look at the hand, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pancha, inhale, come up. Samastitihi. So I just took out the twists, okay? So inhale, come up. Prasarita Padatanasana, so hands on the hips, all 10 toes face forward. Ekam, inhale. The way exhale, fold, hands to the ground. You can use the block too if your hands aren't coming all the way down. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, bend your elbows. Walk your hands underneath the feet and push that head as far as you can. These are the best forward folds because the belly can go in between. Holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trini, inhale, lift the head. Chaturanga, exhale, hands on hips. Pancha, inhale, come up. Exhale. So it's really common to get dizzy coming up and down quite frequently. So like it just happened to me. Take your time, okay? So arms out, inhale for B. Exhale, hands on hips. Trini, inhale. Good. Chatwari, take the head down. What helps is focusing on a drishti. So you can focus on Nasagra drishti, looking at the nose for 1, 2. See if you can engage pelvic floor here too. 3. 4. 5. Plancha inhale, come up. Exhale. Sikam inhale, arms spread. The way exhale, interlace fingers. Trini inhale, stretch the arms. Chatwari exhale, reach the hands forward and down. Holding for 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. Inhale. Come up. Exhale. D. Ekam inhale. Hands on hips. Exhale the way. Grab the big toes. First 2 fingers. Inhale, lift the head. And bend your elbows. Fold forward. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, bring the hands on the hips. Inhale, come up. Good, and come forward. Okay, so Parsvatanasana, have to step really wide from this one. So palms touch, or you can just put your knuckles together. Ekam inhale, step back, pivot the feet. So widen your foot here. The way exhale, just scoop the belly next to your thigh, okay? Exhale, take the head down in between the legs. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, come up. So another option here is just take the legs normal and you can just come down halfway. For me, that's a lot more difficult, so I'll do it like this. So wider legs. Exhale, fold. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, come up. Samastitihi. Okay, so standing balances, catch a breath, grab a sip of water if you need it. Utkatasana, Padangustasana. Okay, left hand on the hip, ekam inhale, grab the big toe. So obviously, sorry, not obviously, but I'm not gonna fold forward. So holding here for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Open the leg to the side. Again, easier to get dizzy, so if you want to keep looking forward, go for it. But if it feels okay, Parsva Drishti, look to the side for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Bring the leg back to the center, both hands on the hips, hold it here for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Legs are much heavier these days, am I right? Okay, grab the left big toe, inhale. 1. Try to make this quick. 2. 3. 4. 5. Open the leg. Good. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come back. Inhale. Exhale. Leave your foot. Hold it for 5, 4. I point the toe here. 3, 2, 1. Samastitihi. Okay, so Urdhva Padatanasana. If this is not feeling good for you, I'll just do tree pose. Yeah? Tree pose is great. Vrikshasana. Awesome pose. Yeah? You can take that. Okay, if you do feel good coming to the half lotus, you can take it. Okay, maybe take the bind. For me, I can still do this, but I know soon it might feel like the heel's going up into the belly when I fold. So you can either just stay lifted or maybe even come down a little bit. What I'll do is come down like halfway. You can use that block too. That's a really nice modification for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale here. Inhale, come up. Samastitihi. All right, same thing on the left side. So take tree pose if you want. You can take your half lotus. You don't have to bind. You don't need to fold. But if it still feels good for you to do, you go for it. Holding. Oh, see, sometimes I can feel her kick with my heel. Then I know, maybe time to stop doing this, yeah? So you'll know, like you'll feel in your body when it's time to just let things go, and you'll be, if this is your first pregnancy, you'll be surprised how quick it goes and how fast this will all come back. It will be, you know, a year or 2 years, and it will feel like, how is it already 2 years? But practice is lifelong, right? So no worries if you have to give things up. So inhale, reach the arms up. We'll go to Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step back or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, jump or step. Feet can come together or separated. Bend your knees, arms up. Utkatasana. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Fold forward. Inhale. If you feel like jumping, go for it. If not, you just step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. All right, right foot is gonna step forward. Take that back heel down. Come to warrior 1. Holding. And if this is all you get through today, a nice job, nice work. To be honest, in this pregnancy, mostly I've been doing 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes of practice. Sometimes an hour, but rarely more than an hour. Which, you know, my practice used to be 2 hours. Okay, so shifting to the left side. Bend the knee. Look up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Open the arms for Virabhadrasana. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the leg, pivot the feet forward. If you need to rest the arms. Holding. Left side. Right side, excuse me. 5, 4, warrior 2, almost done. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take your hands to the mat, step back, And lower for your Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. If you still feel good like bending your knees and crossing the ankles and coming to sit like that, go for it. You can use blocks too, like to do the jump backs. If you want, I can show you how to do that, but I don't know, personally, it just seems like more work. But up to you, right? So we have Dandasana. So Mula Bandha, engaging the pelvic floor. This is debatable, right, in pregnancy, but personally, it's important, I think it's important to do Kegel exercises, things like this when you're pregnant. So if you can incorporate that in your Ashtanga practice, then why not? All right, forward folds here. Whew. So none of these are great, really, right? Paschimottanasana. So you can just grab your big toes, fold as much as you can. We won't spend too much time on this. But again, like if you're in a lead class, you can modify by this. But really for me, since I did used to go so deep in my Paschimottanasana and now I can't, this is not really like doing much. Okay, and then lifting the head. You can put hands on top of feet instead of grabbing the wrists. And it's hard not to really constrict the belly here because you have to get very wide to get your belly through your thighs and here. So really it's like, it doesn't really matter either way. Legs are together, legs are apart. It's personally how I feel. Okay, and then head lifts, we'll go back. So the jump back, right? I'll show you just one way. Instead of doing full jump backs, you can just tuck your toes underneath. Maybe you do this anyway in your practice, because jump backs are not necessary, right? I would just roll over the feet and then jump back from there, or step back from there. Inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. And then again, you can jump or you can just cross your ankles to sit down. Urdhvadanyrasana. Now it's really nice to modify this by just bending the knees and lifting up like this. So you can totally do that, okay? Or feet can come forward together and lift up. Head back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Calm down. Nice shoulder stretch though. You're going to need those shoulder stretches when you're carrying a baby, okay? So again, like I said, I would show the blocks. You can use your blocks to jump back if you want, to lift up and to take the feet underneath, but I'm going to just leave these because I don't want to use them. Okay, go to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. But if you do, totally fine. Exhale, downward dog. All right, jump or step through. So Urdhva Padma Paschimottanasana. Same thing we do standing. So you have options. We're going to do Ustrasana. So if you wanted to do maybe like a figure 4 here to stretch, you can do that if you don't feel like coming fully into Lotus. All right, but if you can do your Lotus posture, what I'll do is take the bind and I'll just stay open here and I'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, inhale, head up, exhale. Maybe you just switch sides, okay? If you want, you can take the Vinyasa. For this video, I'm gonna do less Vinyasas, so I'm just gonna switch sides right now. You can do your Vinyasa if you want though, all right? So take the bind or don't. Reach the right foot, exhale, fold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, head up, exhale there. All right, and then we'll go back to Chaturanga. So step or jump back, inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. This one I find I can still jump and do. Triangmukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana, but please don't, I'll have to come up on my fingertips a little bit to do it. If not, just step through, take your right foot back, sit into the center of the hips. You can keep your knees wider in this one. All right, you know, typically we would keep knees together, It's not happening, right? Okay, so reach for the foot and fold, coming down for 5. Another difficult one to do, 4, because the belly gets in the way. 3, 2, and 1, head up. Good. We'll go back to Chaturanga. So if you want to just switch sides, just switch sides. All right, then left side. Okay, reach for the right foot. Inhale, head up. Exhale, fold. Three, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale here. Yeah, so primary series, a lot of forward folds, a lot of twists, a lot of things we can't do right now. Just for a little bit. In the long scheme of life, it's gonna seem like no time at all, I promise. Even though right now, personally, my pregnancy feels like it's lasted forever. Let's do Janu Shirshasana. So you can also do like Janu Shirshasana wide like this, which is really nice. Like you can take a stretch over like this if you want instead. This is another really good option for Janu Shirshasana A. Or if that's too much, fine. Whatever you'd like, you can just reach and fold forward, okay? It gets actually easier, I found here, to get the belly in between. Three more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale. Okay, there are so many of these, so let's just switch sides, okay? Reach for your hand and then fold. Oh yeah, again, you can stretch side if you want. Kind of like Paridasana, right? If you take that in your practice. Okay, inhale, lift the head. Exhale there. We'll go back to Chaturanga. Again, like I can show you if you want, if that belly's getting in the way, just come and do maybe like this or something. You can always skip the Chaturanga, right? All right, come through again. Janu Shirshasana B I actually find really nice because you're not going to find it nicer after you give birth. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so sit on, but I find it nice in pregnancy because there's room here to put the belly and then fold. Okay, so holding for 5. Sorry, new parents. 4. Get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come off. Yeah, enjoy it while you can. It's gonna take a while to get back into that one. Okay, jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. I didn't skip on this side, I don't know why. The pregnancy brain is another thing too, which is why I'm not even bothering doing all the proper Sanskrit counts, so apologies if you were hoping for that. Because I have to chat so much through this and modify so many things, it's just too much to say with the breath and the breathing. You cannot do it. Okay, and fold forward. Janu Shirshasana B, left side 5, 4. I'm also doing my forehead here instead of reaching my chin because it's just much easier. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift the head up. Good. Exhale, come off of your foot. And then go back, and we'll go to C. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Okay, come to Janu Shirshasana C. So I actually think C is generally pretty okay for me through most of my pregnancy, but soon it's good if it feels like the heel is really hitting the belly, like just skip it. I won't fold forward for this one. I won't even try. I'm just gonna stay here for 5 because you can see the heel, as we know, right, as Ashtanga practitioners, this posture, you want to get your heel inside your belly, you want to suck the belly, and you want the heel to go up, stimulate the digestion. So we can't do that here, so we could just stretch out those toes because they're probably growing, your feet. I went up a whole size, hoping it doesn't happen again. I like my shoes. I don't want to buy any new ones. You can just switch sides or take the Vinyasa. Step or jump through. And we'll do left side. And also I find like a big problem. If you do go to a class or something, it's just like having to go to the bathroom. You know, if you go to like an hour-and-a-half lead primary, like, I don't think there's any way I could get through that without having to pee these days. So don't feel bad at any point, right? If you have to modify or use the toilet or take water. Ashtanga rules don't count if you are growing a human inside of you. Good. Okay, after 5 breaths there, then we go back. And now we get into Mudrasana. So I'm only going to do one. I'm going to do A, and I'm going to skip B, C, and D. Why? Because if you modify, there's really only way to modify B, right, is if you kind of come here. And really, this is the same thing. And this is still getting in the way of my belly. And those deep twists, we can't do them anyway. But like if you go to a lead class or something, you can modify. You could twist open if you want. All right, but for this class, for these purposes, because it's a home practice, we're just going to take A. So right foot comes underneath the right knee. Reach that right hand forward. Take your bind. Inhale, lift the head. And exhale, fold. Good. Now you can't fold too far here. Holding for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I can just show you, like, I mean, if you wanted to modify B, if you're in a class, you could just like do like this or something. And for the twists, you can just twist open to the opposite side that everyone else is twisting. That's fine too, that's nice. I'm just gonna switch sides here, feeling a little tired. Go ahead and take a Vinyasa if you want. Okay, so left foot underneath the left. Make sure you make a lot of space here. So there's a lot of space between the foot and the thigh, right? Reach that left hand around. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, fold. Good. Good. 5, 4. Don't forget to flex your opposite foot. 3. You can activate other things too. 1. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale there. Yeah. The Mudrasana is all very unpregnancy friendly, unfriendly for pregnancy. So if you have the home practice too, just skip it. Lots of other things we can do, right? Okay, now Navasana. Also something that is, I'd say, debatable if you want to do it. You can practice a lot of modifications, okay? You can just hold like this. I'm still working the core like this, okay? You can do one foot, still working the core with one foot. You can do both feet, but for me, it seems like too much. You can hold the legs. We're just gonna do like one round here for me to show you if you wanna modify in a class, but I don't really have Navasana in my practice anymore while I'm pregnant. You can lift by just keeping your feet on the ground to lift up. Use your feet if you want to sit back down. So again, normal rules apply, do not apply. But great posture for after pregnancy. Just gotta be careful today for these. Okay? So we'll skip right through that, yeah? Lucky. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, come through. So the majority of the rest of the primary series is just really tough to do. I mean, a lot of it you can do. In my first pregnancy, I was doing, I'm going to come to Konasana while I talk, so soles of the feet come together. My first pregnancy, I was doing a lot of it, but this one doesn't feel right. So up to you, you know, your body's gonna be different. If you're maybe feeling better, younger than me maybe, you can take the rest of primary, go for it. For me, like halasana and like rolling on my back doesn't feel great. So yeah, so I'm just doing Baddha now. And you can kind of take some time in Baddha. This is a really important pose to do in, well, for childbirth, you know. So I sometimes just take some more time in this, even by using my hands to push my knees down, or even just relaxing my hands forward. Because B, like tucking the belly in, that doesn't feel good, obviously. So you just can take A for a little bit longer if you want. Okay, we'll come up and then we'll go back. We're gonna do some intermediate poses now. Chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Just a few. Okay, so you can jump to Malasana, which is the squat pose. We're gonna do this instead of Pashasana. So you're going to make your legs as wide as your mat, sit low. All right, first come to Malasana, enjoy this stretch. Really nice one also to do during pregnancy. And then we take this bind here. So I'm gonna wrap my right arm around my right leg and take the left hand behind and hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come to the other side. Reach around and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release that. And then we go back to Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. All right, so I'm going to skip Kranshasana because we did a lot of the forward folds in primary series. I'm going to come to a tabletop pose. So instead of, this is what I do if I'm just practicing intermediate, because I'll still like practice almost full intermediate. For me, that's a lot more accessible than primary. And I had been practicing intermediate. So let's do just a few cat-cows while I talk. So inhale, head up, drop the belly. So exhale, round the spine. I had been doing full intermediate for a few years before I got pregnant my first time. So for me, it just came easy, okay? You might be in that same boat. You might only be doing primary. If you're only doing primary, then guess what? Cat-cow is still amazing for you. It's amazing for anyone who is pregnant. Or actually, it's great for anyone in general. Mom, your dad, husband, wife, cousin, teach them cat-cow. Okay, so come back. Now I like to do a little balancing because it works on the core a little bit here. Like, it's a silly myth that you can't do any core work when you're pregnant because you want to have a strong core. You want to avoid getting that diastasis. You want to keep your core strong. So even just holding planks, doing chaturanga, and doing things like this, we're going to take opposite arm, opposite leg out. Engaging the core, doing forearm planks, building strength. I also do strength training in addition to my Ashtanga practice. I want my body to stay strong for childbirth. I had an unmedicated birth before. I really want to do that again. So I want to stay strong and I want to be able to walk after I give birth. Okay, of course things happen and we'll see what happens, but you know, the stronger you are, the easier the recovery. Okay, switch arms and legs. So I'm hoping to stay strong again. And you just have to carry a baby. And I have to, you know, my 3.5-year-old sometimes makes me carry him, so you gotta stay strong. Good, hold that and release. If you want, you can do a vinyasa here. Okay, so it's kind of like we're just doing this instead of Shavasana, Urdhvadanyrasana, Katasana, things like that. Okay, so then I'm going to take Vinyasa, it's called the tiger pose. So my right arm will stretch forward, left leg behind me, and then I'm just gonna pull this in. So this is a really nice, if you flex here and you draw your heel toward your glute, this is like the quad stretch that you're missing in Bakasana. And you can even do this one at a time, do a vinyasa, or what I'm just going to do today, because this video, I don't want this video to be too long, is I'll just combine it. So I'll just stretch open up here. And you can rotate the elbow too, if that's something that you do in your practice. Good, big stretch, kick the foot in the hand. So it's kind of like Dhanurasana. Good, and then release. And we'll take the other side. So left arm grabs the right leg, flex the foot, pull it in, take that quadricep stretch first. Good, and then kicking the foot to the hand, we're gonna lift it up. I start to point the toe here. You can keep it flexed if that feels better, holding for 5. It's the strong tiger. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, release. All right, maybe you take a little child's pose here to rest your arms. To be honest, sometimes child's pose doesn't feel great either. Belly's just always in the way. Okay, so now we're going to just do one more back bend before we finish. But if you have a full intermediate series, go ahead and do all of them. Usually I will do all the back bends here. Like I'll do through Katasana, still do some of the arm balancing in intermediate. It feels good for me. Okay, take a breath in. We're gonna come to Ustrasana. Feel free to keep your hands on your back here and just kind of stretch the hips forward and stretch the upper back. Look at the nose as you drop the head back. If it feels okay, hands can come onto the heels, and we hold this here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit down. Good. Okay, so moving along, we'll go back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We're gonna close up by taking back bends. We'll do Dhanurasana. So I'll start with just taking a little bridge pose, making sure I can touch my heels and my ankles, lifting the hips up, interlacing fingers, coming up. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can just close out the practice now. It's been a good 50 minutes already. Okay, and then we'll try a full Urdhvadanyrasana, upward facing bow, so elbows come up. We lift up. For me, it always still feels good to back bend in pregnancy, but you see how that feels for you. 5 breaths here. Maybe you can come closer, or maybe you just hold for as long as you'd like. For me, it's like I have a hard time with my legs because my legs are always so tired from carrying more weight. So I just find it holder to hard with my legs because you need a lot of strength in your legs for these, right? Good. Try to hold for 5. And then when you're ready, come back down. I can't hold it for 5 breaths today. That's all I've got in me. Good. Take a breath in. Then we'll rock up. Chakrasana. Not quite happening for me anymore. I did it like last pregnancy. The whole time, I don't know. I didn't have a toddler, so when I was younger. Had a lot more energy back then. But you find what works for you. Now, coming to a forward fold after the back bends, I usually do Baddha again instead of doing Tanasana. It just feels better. And just relax into it. So I'm making this class a lot shorter than a normal, maybe Ashtanga led primary would be. But I hope if you do go to take a live class which is awesome. You should still be taking your live classes. I hope I gave you some ideas of what you could do. So instead of Vinyasa here, we're going to try to come to shoulder standing. See how this goes today. Sometimes for me, this does not feel great at all. So there's options you can do. You can put a bolster behind your back and do legs up the wall. That's a really nice way to get the feet lifted. Okay, but if you feel like coming all the way up to your shoulder standing, we can try to hold this for a few breaths. I'll usually hold this for like less time than I normally would. And Halasana I don't take. Sometimes I can do Padmasana here if I want, but as the belly's getting bigger, this gets getting harder. But again, you see how it works for you. Yeah, and then I'm just going to come down from here. But again, modify what you need for that, right? And we're just going to do one nice, easy Matsuyasana with the legs together. So come up on your forearms. Just let the head come back and skip Ubaya Padasana. Okay, so I'll skip Chakrasana too, and I'm just gonna push myself up from here and do a Vinyasa from here. Now, Shavasana always feels better to me than shoulder standing. But if you don't feel comfortable, please don't. So last thing you want to do is fall in your headstand. So you must be already confident in doing this. Okay, if you already practice Ashtanga for years and you can do Shavasana no problem, it shouldn't be a problem in your pregnancy. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, like, don't ask me, I'm not a doctor. Like, talk to a midwife or doctor or your doula or somebody who is a professional. Okay, I'm a professional Ashtangi and I am pregnant. That's about it. Okay, so you can take Dolphin Pose. We can hold Dolphin for 10 breaths. If you want to try to come up, you can try to come up and we'll hold. So you can hold about 10 breaths here if you feel like holding for less or holding for more. There is that one story that you always read, right? If you have not read Yogasana for Mothers, you should read it. Personally, I love that book, but I do personally think it's a little outdated as well. But it is like something, if you're an Ashtanga practitioner and a mom, you have to read it. But there's that one story about Joanne Darby doing Shavasana for an hour when she was pregnant, right? Amazing. I believe it, but I'm never going to do that. All right, so after about 10 breaths, you can come down for B, if that feels okay. Just gonna hold it for a little bit shorter. It doesn't feel great for me today to do that. And then come down. But if that feels okay for you, hold it for longer. Go ahead and hold it for longer. Child's pose. I can't come all the way down unless I get really wide with my legs. I could do that actually. So this is all just a learning experience, I think, for all of us. I think since every pregnancy is so different, everyone's body is just going to respond differently. You just take it one day at a time. And if Ashtanga is not right for you anymore in this pregnancy, it'll always be there for you after, you know? All right, so Padmasana, if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, you can just sit cross-legged. So Yoga Mudrasana, we'll skip that because we can't fold forward, right? I'll just face you for a little bit. we're just going to do some breath, some breathing, okay? So I've read and I've heard that doing too much Ujjayi breath will heat the body too much. It's not good for pregnancy. Personally, I don't have experience. I've never really done it for that long that it's gotten my body too hot. So we'll just do about 10 breaths here, just breathing. And if you just want to sit quietly for 10 breaths, that's really nice too. Okay. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. I'll skip Uplutihi, but go ahead and try that out if you want. We're just gonna finish here, so no extra vinyasa today. Better you just take it easy, yeah? Okay, so inhale for Om. Om. Swasti prajabhyaha pare palayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Okay, you can go ahead and lay down on your side to take Shavasana. Usually I'll just like lay in the bed a little bit or maybe just even sit and quietly with my eyes closed for a few more moments, because sometimes it doesn't feel good to lay down and come back up. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions, and like I said before, if you have any medical questions, ask your care provider first. Thank you.